Oh my God, is that the faces of the future? Yo, welcome to all new episode of the Faces of the Future podcast. It's your boy Myles. We sitting here in the compound. We got Vic B in the building today. How you doing today?
Yo, what's up? What's the word? Vic B checked in, Mr. Energy. I'm here.
Yo, what's up, man? What you been up to, man?
Nothing, man. Working, taking life day by day. You feel me? You know, trying to get better every day.
Nah, for sure. So like off air, we was chopping it up how like you had like always been a DJ. Like my thought process before like I like really chopped it up, which was like that was something you've been doing like since a youngin, like super young.
Yeah.
And then so my point is like when you were coming up, what were you doing? Like was it like when the DJ aspect come in? Were you just running around doing other things? Like what was the upbringing like?
So with DJing, I started off. I used to play football in high school, so I was kind of in charge of making all the CDs for the locker room.
Right.
You feel me? So, I was always up to date on the music. Like I always just had the tunes playing, you feel me?
Yeah.
I've always been interested in music. When I was in high school and in middle school, I was listening to all the mixtapes and everything that came out. I was up to date on everything on LimeWire all the time.
Yeah.
I was doing a lot musically. So I've just always taken an interest in music, and I knew I didn't want to make music, but I knew I wanted to be involved in some capacity. So always being the playlist guy, then I get to college, I see that there aren't that many DJs, and the DJs, like it was a very low level entry point. There were hot DJs on campus. Let me not make it seem like there weren't hot DJs on campus, but there weren't a lot.
Right.
You feel me? There were definitely people that were doing their own thing, and I just felt like I always wanted to do it. Why not take the risk? So during college, I used to work. I used to actually do the security for the college while going to the college and living. I went to Temple University, everybody. So I was at Temple. I was working security, but I was also going to the school, and saved up a whole bunch of bread, because people don't know DJ equipment is very expensive.
Yeah.
Do not sleep on that. DJ equipment is very expensive. So I saved up some money, and I remember at the time, my cousin, shout out to Flygerian, when I told him I wanted to be a DJ, he had the same sentiments, and he had it on his own accord.
Right.
And he actually got DJ equipment for Christmas, and literally 2 or 3 months later, I bought mine. So we kind of started very parallel to each other. So I just remember being in the crib for 6 months, really learning it.
Right.
Not really telling anybody I was a DJ, really just learning it. And then I threw shout out to Geechee. Geechee Vigilantes, it's a clothing brand based in New York City. Started in Temple University. They gave me my first gig.
Okay.
Shout out to my brothers.
What was that first gig like? Like what was that experience like?
So this is the thing. I kind of want to be a perfectionist. That's my whole thing.
Mm.
I'm not saying I am a perfectionist. I'm just saying I do want things to always turn out well. Right. So what I did was, one of the people that I told first, another DJ on campus, DJ SK, shout out to him. He was available that night. So I told him yo, I got booked for this. You might as well come in with me. You feel me? Pause. And you might as well pull up and play the set with me. You feel me? So my first set, I remember I had an HP laptop. Yeah. I had all the old school DJ equipment. Anybody's a DJ. I had the SL boxes with the mixer and the old ass mixer. Oh my God! And then one of them turntable boards or whatever. It was actually no, I'm lying. It was vinyl. That was a vinyl board. SK let me borrow his vinyl board. Yes, I remember. So I learned on vinyl, by the way. That's the original way to play, to DJ vinyl.
Does it make a difference when you're between vinyl and I'm not familiar with DJ equipment and stuff like that.
I say that learning on vinyl, if you learn on vinyl, you can play on anything.
Really?
I don't think that it's the reverse. If you learn on all the controller boards that they have now, and somebody put vinyl in front of you, because the whole thing about technology, people don't realize, is to make things simpler, right? And back in the day, they were actually carrying around crates of records and DJing it with the putting stickers and stuff on them so you could know what song and what part and really cutting like back in the day. Like we talking about the 80s, you feel me? Well, maybe even the 70s, excuse me. So yeah, like people don't realize technology is there to make things simpler. But if you know the complex version, you will always know the simpler version because you know what everything is supposed to do.
Right.
Like organically. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when you learn it now, there's so many buttons and like there's so many things that you can do, but you don't know the why. And granted, I think technology has helped take the DJ play and DJ experience to another level. But at the same time, like the fundamentals, if you understand the fundamentals, you'll be able to do everything even better. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I learned on vinyl. And like I said, like when you take time to learn all the parts of it, the knowledge, I just think that's invaluable. You see what I'm saying? Like being able to know exactly what you're talking about in your craft, because that's how you got to look at it. It's a craft. It's an art form. It's not just something to do to make money.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like granted, the money, I had interest in it before I knew that there was money in it. And that's, I think, is also important as being a DJ. You actually have to want it because there's a lot of intricacies. It seems so simple because the matter of fact of it is kind of simple. You're playing music for a group of people.
Right.
And you're going from one song to the next song. But there's so many nuances in between that simple process. And, like, you really have to, like, care. And when you just know about it, it just makes everything easier. So, yeah, back to the story. I learned on vinyl.
Yeah, you learned on vinyl. So yeah, go ahead. My bad.
I learned on vinyl, and then what was you talking about?
We was talking about your first.
Oh
event
yeah,
that you
yeah. So I learned on vinyl, and SK pulled up at my HP, and I just didn't do well because I was still very new. So I was really trying to do things on the spot, and like I forgot certain ways to do things, and it just wasn't smooth. And shout out to SK. He finished. He closed out the gig, did very well. Geechee, the clothing brand, they had a very successful launch party. Excuse me. We gotta cut that out. But yeah, first gig, Geechee, and it went well. I was still working security. I had to pay the bills. I moved out of my house when I was 19, so like I was by myself, like really, like going through life, really like learning on the fly about life.
Was it like a certain type of music you had to play at your first event? Because DJ's about like obviously like controlling the crowd and understanding.
So
the crowd,
thing
right?
is, I think like usually with parties, especially when it's your friends, you're playing whatever y'all will listen to at the crib or whatever. But like as far as like, let me just expand on what you're trying to say. Well, I feel like you're trying to say, like, if I'm in a certain room, I'm playing for that crowd. I'm trying to give them the best experience for that crowd, but in my way, right? So there's a lot of different things that you could do creatively, from transitions to song selection. I think song selection, people don't know that. I think that's one of the, sometimes I feel like that's a bigger, that's more important than a transition. I think transitions are very important, but I feel like for certain rooms, song selection can, especially when it's concise and, thought out, it can really change the mood of the room. If you hit people with 10 songs, matter of fact, we could even make it 5 songs back to back to back that the majority of the room all likes.
Right.
It can literally shift the energy of the room. I think transitions are important. And I think you always try to play to what people like. Like I think it's definitely cool if you're your own artist for you to play your own music and stuff like that. But I also feel like there's a balance, and you have to, just remember that everybody, well, if it's a room that you're booked for, everybody isn't there for you. Like, they're there for a good time and the experience. They're not there for you. You feel me? And like, you can, obviously, like I said, make your sets creatively yours. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely think you try to play to uplift the energy in the room. Energy is my whole like thing. Like that's my.
Where'd that brand come from? Because it kind of what you explained, or is it just something that you came up with intentionally? Or
I'm not gonna lie. So somebody in college one time, just I forget who said it. Like they was just playing around. They said lit like Vic. Because there was like lit like Vic, the lighter.
Yeah.
So it was like they said lit like Vic, and I was like, yeah. And then I was like, oh, like I like that. So like started running with it, and the whole energy thing. That's something that people have always said I've had. People usually when I meet people, usually like, yo, you either too cool, or you got a lot of energy. Like that's what I get from people when they talk to me. I don't know how true that is, but it's something I've always got, and like I say it on the microphone when I'm hosting a lot, and I got like drops that have it. And like when I was in college, somebody made like lit like Vic. They made like a little bulb as the logo or whatever. So it was like I was just running with the energy thing because I think that's the biggest part of the experience is the energy you feel when you're experiencing it. You see what I'm saying? Like if people walk away and the energy was there and it was high energy and people had a good time and like they felt welcome, they felt at home, at ease, that's priceless,
So like when it comes to like the party scene, because I know sometimes you see on social media like people not wanting to dance, do whatever it is at the parties like you're supposed to have a lot of fun. I seen like a lot of people debating like parties aren't like what they used to be, and I think I saw y'all throw a party like with no sections at one point. Okay. Was that like intentional? So what do you think as a DJ from your perspective? I guess. Do you think like this? What's your perspective on like the social aspect of like events now? Because people be dancing and stuff like that. Sometimes they don't like.
So one thing I realized is that the internet, it's its own world, bro. Okay. There are a lot of things that are on the internet that are narratives on the internet, but it's just the internet.
Right.
Right. Like, and sometimes we all got to be careful into feeding into what's on the internet instead of actually thinking about what you actually feel in that moment.
Yeah.
And isolated from the internet, right? I think that people show people not like I think like in the span of time with technology, right? There's been a lot that's more documented. We're way more documented than we are ever in life, right? And the thing is that like how many times have you been at a party having a good time and you stood there for a second and, just sang the song, just looked at your phone real quick, having a good time. And it's like, not every moment of every second of the party has to be at a 10. People can have a good time with the build-up. People can have a good time with everybody else having it, because there's some people that don't drink and they're just literally there for the energy. They just want to hear good music. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They're not doing no drugs. They're literally there drinking a Red Bull or some water and calling it a day. And it's like, I've been in rooms where nobody's dancing, quote unquote, and people are having a good time. Mm-hmm. I was just in Houston.
Right.
I went to Dome. Everybody was standing on the table singing. Nobody broke a dance. Girls, girls are going to twerk. You feel me? Girls are always going to twerk. But I'm talking about the general public was just having a good time, just singing. Some people don't want to move, but I do think there are rooms where people should be dancing. And like I do a lot of Afrobeat parties, I do a lot of dance parties, and I think every room calls for what it calls for. And I do also think that like there's pressure on people to show that they're having fun when you can be having a good time just vibing. Like sometimes vibes are just cool. I'm an energy person. So you talking to somebody who I'll be dancing in parties with people, and I think that express how you're having a good time the way you want to express it. Some people literally don't want to be hyped. They don't want to sweat. That's cool. I think that like sometimes the room will force you to do that, and obviously if the room requires that, I think that you should. My only thing is just don't be so struck on not having a good time. Like if you're here, don't be that person. Be yourself. Like let the energy flow through you. Right. If you feel like dancing, get up and dance. If you feel like just mingling with people, get up and mingle. But like that's what it's for. You see what I'm saying? And also people need to go to parties that really interest them. You see what I'm saying? Like you can't go into a room where the culture, the majority of the people want trap music and they want to stand on the couch and you want to hear, you know, Bally Funk. Like, it's like, yo, bro, like, that's not what the room calls for. Go
Right.
where you want to go. And don't judge people in those rooms for liking what they like. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm a person that likes a lot of different types of music. And I DJ a lot of different types of crowds, especially within the black space. You see what I'm saying? Caribbeans, Africans, obviously Americans, and hip-hop. So it's like I'm in a lot of different rooms. And, like, you go to a city like Detroit, you're not really going to see them twerking and doing like TikTok dances, but you will see them line dance to every song.
Right.
Because that's how they have fun. Yeah. So, like, don't judge the room based off what you like. Judge the room based off what the room dictates. And that doesn't, to my DJs, I do feel like it's definitely, that's why I say read the room. It's definitely, you have a responsibility to give people the best experience that you could deliver. And sometimes, we fuck up, but we mess up. But, like, you definitely need to make sure that you're trying your best to make sure people have the best experience that you could possibly give.
No, definitely. And then as you're navigating, so you're in college, you DJing your first event, your parties and things of that nature. Like, so when, I guess, did you start really getting booked when it came to, like, the city, your name's building up buzz? Like, what was that, like, experience? Like, how, like, if you're up aspiring DJ, like, what was that navigation process like?
I think with your career, right, everything has, like, there's moments and steps that, like, bring you up. I don't think that there's been one defining moment that flipped the switch. I feel like there's been little moments that's happened. One of the reasons why me and Dior became, shout out to my business partner Dior. One of the reasons why me and Dior became business partners is because one time when we were friends, because we were friends first, right? And we had a mutual friend that introduced us, and, like, it's the first year of our friendship. We just chopping it up. You feel me? He's booking me for certain things. I'm pulling up on him. He's pulling up on me, and he had an event and he booked me. It was Litmus. It was the second one, I think, and he brought out 1,000 people by himself. And I think it was like, I'm pretty sure it was like 4 months later. It was like, it was like late April, and this wasn't a white April. It was just another event. I had just got graduated out of school, I remember, and I threw an event, and I brought out 1,000 people at the Mushulu. And after that, we locked in, you feel me? And when we locked in, I forget what was the first event that we did together. When we locked in and started doing events, people that were older than us that were in the city, because, like, there's a different world. I feel like there's different worlds. There's the college world, and then there's, like, the real Philly world when you talk about the city. And people started to hear our names, and I would then, at that time, I started to get booked in actual clubs.
Yeah.
Opening for certain sets, closing too. I was definitely spoken about, and then there was another moment when I became a Club King DJ. Shout out to DJ RL. And DJ RL, it was funny because it was a big college party. It wasn't a college. It was a city party, but there was a lot of college kids that went. I remember. So DJ RL was booked to close, and because of whatever reason, he had to leave early. So he asked me to do the closing set, and he do the opening set because I was booked to open. And I remember it was the second half of Mask Off. I started my set off with that. My guillotine, like the breakdown, and RL, like I said, he had to leave, but he was packing his bag. I remember he stopped and he was just watching, and I remember it was when I played Mask Off, ran it back, and crowd went, because it was a full house. Crowd went crazy, and then I just started going in. I remember that first 15 minutes, I was punching them. I was going crazy, and he walks up to me in the middle of my set. He said, "Yo, you a Club King DJ now. I'm gonna hit you tomorrow morning."
Yeah.
And then, like, you feel me? And I remember it was the weekend I walked, because I graduated in December, but I walked that May. Yeah. It was the weekend I walked, and I remember I was getting shout outs on Instagram because I graduated, had my graduation photos, and then like literally the next day he says, like, "Yo, new member Club King DJ, Vic B, and it was all over the gram.
Yeah.
That was another moment because like at that time, like a stamp like that in the city, people will know who you are.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like if you throw that in there when you're talking to somebody who's a promoter or anything back then, you was definitely and like, shout out to the Club Kings, the homies. You feel me? There's a lot of it. Well, there's not a lot of us, but it's a lot of us, if that makes sense. It's like 12 of us, I think.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Is that like a collective that you guys have?
It's
or?
a DJ collective in the tri-state.
Yeah.
And it, we got some heavy hitters on there. A lot of heavy hitters. I could name everybody. You said one earlier. Shout out Caution.
Yeah.
DJ Boogie,
Yep.
HBK,
Yep.
AMH, Old Boy, Classic. I could keep going. Blair,
What that major cosign? Like
Big Ant, Smoke. It's a couple of us. Obviously RL.
Yeah. What did that major cosign mean? Like when you got it from DJRL, like kind of like. I don't know. I don't even call it like passing the torch, but telling the C that you're one of them ones. Like, what did that? What was that?
That was cool because what made it easy though is that like, I was working with I used to DJ with a lot of the DJs on the camp already.
Right.
So like, that was RL's first time hearing me, but like I was already cool with A Boogie. Me and A Boogie been locked in for a while. AMH, me and AMH been locked in for a while. HBK. Locked in for a while. Caution, same.
Yeah.
Old Boy for a minute. Like Classic for sure. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was locked in with people for a while. And even Blair at the time. Shout out DJ Blair. One of my favorite DJs from Delaware for sure. And Delaware DJs is sick too.
Yeah.
Shout out to Delaware DJs. But yeah. Yeah, so when I guess when RL put it in the chat, everybody was already familiar with me. They was like, yeah, like, you feel me? Shout out to the homies. So yeah, man, like I was already locked in with them, so that was easy. But with everybody else, at that time it was just a different world. You feel me? Like it was just a different scene, and I was just trying to find my footing.
Yeah.
And there's certain things I realized about the scene that I liked, and certain things I realized that I didn't like, and like. I just started outlining my goals based off that list, the pro and con list. You see what I'm saying? What I like, what I didn't like, and yeah, man.
What were some of your goals as you was coming up, like where you're in the city and stuff like that?
So one thing I realized is that my market, I feel like I had a vaster music knowledge than what my market demanded, and not even saying that there weren't spaces where I could use my pockets and still get off in Philly. It was more so like I want to be able to DJ in different rooms and still make what I want to make. Like still dictate what I want to dictate. You see what I'm saying? And not even saying that it's a crazy number, but there's certain rooms like they're not, even if it's not a crazy number, they just don't have the budget to do that. So but there are pockets in other markets where they do have the budget to do that. So one of my goals at one point in time was to definitely get experience in different markets, right? And luckily, Philly being in between two different but impactful markets, you see what I'm saying? It helped. That was one of my goals. Also being a better DJ because sometimes, especially when you're young, you're kind of in your head as far as like when you do good. Excuse me. When you do good, you feel like that, you got an arrogance to you. And when you do bad, you still overthink and you're like, damn, like I really, really might not, should I even be doing this? You see what I'm saying? So it's like being able to really navigate the emotions and the ups and downs of being a DJ, because you definitely have to have confidence all the time. It's kind of like playing a sport. And I came up in sports, so it's like I'm very competitive, especially internally. So like even if I see somebody else doing something, I'm definitely motivated. I'm like, yo, if they can do it, I don't need to do exactly what they're doing, but I need to do something. I can do something on that level. You see what I'm saying? And my peers motivate me. I know a lot of great DJs, a lot of DJs doing a lot of things. I feel like if I named every DJ that I have some type of respect for because of whatever they're doing, I'll be here all day, bro. Like, so
for sure.
Girl DJs, guy DJs, DJs Afrobeat markets, fucking hip hop markets, Southern markets, everything. There's so many people that are doing it. Like it's a dog eat dog world out here. So, um, yeah, like I think being a better DJ was one of the things that I always try to, like, every time I go to a different market, I really try to go to another party. I want to go when I'm around people. I really don't want to control the aux. I want people to play music with like. I'm really just trying to see what people are listening to, so I'm always hip. Uh, it helps that Dior's always on. He's always on the internet, so he always is hip on the internet songs. So like, you feel me? He might make a comment or two. You see what I'm saying? But in my siblings are very we're all into music, so they'll send me songs that they like and stuff like that. My cousin Fly, same thing. One Motion, I'm a part of another DJ collective called One Motion DJs. It's an Afrobeats DJ collective. This and everybody on that team is really a heavy hit. Like, everybody on that team is doing something heavy. Like, you feel me? There's a lot of heavy dogs on that team. Fly, Jum. Jum was at Jumby my dog. We was at he had the DJ Coachella yesterday with Rema. So shout out to Jum, shout out to A Cutie because she was DJing Coachella. Was that 2 days ago? Yeah, shout out to her. There's a lot I could go on. Mahogany, bro, everybody, bro. Yeah. Like, this is bad people. But yeah, so being a better DJ and really making sure that, like, you know, I can always make a mark. Like, that's always my thing. Like, I want to be able to make a mark in your event. Like, I want people to be like, yo, that guy that was on the mic, that guy that was DJing, he was like, I just want people to be able to remember the experience and hopefully remember me while they remember the experience, but more the experience to me. You see what I'm saying? So, being intentional.
Why is that? Why do you want them to remember, like, more so like the experience as opposed to like remembering like?
Because the thing is that, like, obviously you want people to remember you, but the thing is that if they remember the experience, right, they're gonna share it. Be like, somebody will share, like, if we meet, right, and there's a reason for me to share like, that I met you with somebody else. 9 times out of 10, the reason I'll bring it up is because of the experience that I had with you in that moment, right? Whether you were crazy, whether you were funny, but yo, this, you feel me? So regardless, like, even if they don't remember me, they'll be able to tell their people, their friends about that experience, and hopefully at some point it builds. And that's why when we were talking off camera before, when my event Just for Fun, like, that's more so what I'm talking about, right? So, like, even if they don't remember that, like, it's my event, they remember the party. And now when they remember the party, now that's an easier thing to pinpoint than me. Like, oh, when would you do I went to this party, here's a flyer. Because 9 times out of 10, your friend sends you the flyer. You'll be able to reference it quicker. Your friend didn't send you my Instagram. Right. Or, well, if because it could have been, you know, maybe on the page's Instagram or whatever the case may be. You see what I'm saying? So I think making a mark is definitely something that I wanted to focus on as I started to grow in my career. I definitely think so. Yeah.
Is building Just for Fun just one of those, is part of that aspect of trying to make a mark? Like you said, you talk about building experience and that type of thing.
Definitely. I think there are a lot of parties out there that are obviously doing a great job in bringing out people. I just think that I just want to make my own version of it, and I'm big on having fun. Like I said, I'm big on having energy. I just think that, like, I also have a vast music taste, and I just think that there isn't an event that's playing all the music. I'm somebody who was born in Nigeria, but grew up moved to Philly, grew up in South Jersey, and then moved back to Philly, right? So, like, a lot of my life, not even half of my life, I've been listening to Afrobeats before Afrobeats was even Afrobeats. So, like, I can go back to 70s Afrobeat to now. Like I can literally do that. But in the same token, I grew up here, so it's like I grew up on Get Rich or Die Trying. You see what I'm saying? I grew up on that. Like I can rap Jay-Z songs, Wayne songs, like you see what I'm saying? So I have those are the two things. Obviously, I listen to a lot of other music, so I'm not about to spiel on everything that I really listen to, but like those are the two most distinct worlds. So like there isn't a party that I feel like I can. Well, hold on, let me take that back because that might go viral. Let me take that back. Yo, I just feel like I want to put my own take on how a diaspora party or somebody who listens to everything that's black, how it would sound for me. That's really what it is. And as somebody who's obviously a professional DJ, I feel like, I have a pretty good take on what that can do if I do it my way. So I'm saying, and I book other DJs. I book DJs that I know can play in those pockets, in all the pockets, like the dance hall pockets, compa pocket, Afro beats, obviously, and obviously hip hop. Like I want you to be able to take me from being ratchet and hearing Sexy Red to listening to Vibes, then listening to Burna Boy, then listening to Wiz, and then doing some piano dances, and maybe doing a quick bachata because you feel like throwing some Latin music in there real quick. Like I want you to take me everywhere. And like again, there's a lot of parties that do a good job of that. I just feel as though like I have my own take on that, and I just want the world to see that. So that's what Just for Fun really is right now for me. And we working.
Yeah, and I seen like obviously like you're big like your name's big in Philly. But what's it like going to other cities? Like is it a different approach to like when you're about the DJ event? Or is it harder to like move a crowd in different cities? They expect different things. Like what's it like?
Yeah. So you have to really know. You have to be really, and that's where versatility comes in, right? Because you really have to know where you're playing at. You really have to know where you're playing at. Like, there are songs that I play in D.C. that I would never play in Philly. There are songs I play in New York that I would never play in Philly. There's songs in Philly that I would never play anywhere else, but that they are the moment in Philly.
Right.
And I do, and you know what's so crazy? Somebody asked me the other day, like, what's your favorite place to play out of the 3 cities you play in all the time? And I was like, yo, I don't really have one because everyone does something different for me. You see what I'm saying? And I have a lot of fun in Philly. I think Philly's very slept on. I do think we have work to do, but I definitely love at least DJing out here for sure. I wouldn't nobody ever take that away from me. Yeah, it's definitely home. And I'm okay with that. You see what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? Like, everybody has their biases. So like when you have these conversations, yeah, I'm okay with being biased. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like when I'm DJing in DC, my whole approach is like even when I go down south, like when I have to do shout out to SOD Sold Out Dates, when I'm on tour with them and we have to do sets at different places, like playing a lot of different things that I wouldn't play over. I could give examples too. Like it's actually very easy. Like something like Waka Flocka Clap or Lil Boozy Set It Off. Like I'll get that off in DC because a lot of people from the South come to DC. I get that off in Atlanta. I would never play that in Philadelphia. If I play Clap by Waka Flocka at one of our parties, Dior would look at me with what
are you doing?
Yeah, and it's same with New York. Like there's some big dance hall songs, that like Whites or like there's a lot of songs that like are big dance hall songs that will make people in New York slap the walls and all that. But like I would never get that off in Philly.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? And Philly. Philly fake run TikTok. So like Philly had all the TikTok dances, and they would work in DC, but depending on the room, it would work in certain rooms in New York. But like that TikTok music, that trip, that all that like blick music and all that, like you can't really get that off in other markets like you can in Philly. You can kind of get it off in DC too, because they kind of like our stuff. But like then you're not really getting that off in Houston or Atlanta. You're not like you're not really getting that off.
So as a DJ, do you have to pay attention to like kind of like social trends as well, as opposed to like, because you say you go to an event like in person, you can feel the vibe, but like, do you have to be on top of like the social trends?
Yeah, you kind of have to, but there's like you have to know how to differentiate what's gonna work and what's not, and what's a moment, right? Because some TikTok moves very quick. There are songs, and the thing is there's different spaces too, because there's like African TikTok, there's Philly hip hop TikTok and whatever, and you really got to just know how to navigate like what's gonna be there and what's not. Like Playboy Cardi, he got a song called Fine Shit, right?
Right.
And the song was already doing well before it got trendy on TikTok. So that's something that's gonna stay. I could do the same thing for an Afrobeat song, La Ho, Charlie Puppy. That song was already big before it got trendy on TikTok. So those are songs that are probably gonna stay. But then you got like excuse me. You ever see that Uptown Downtown thing?
Yeah.
Like that's a song that like it's that's a moment. Like I'm pretty sure that next year, if I play that song, it's not gonna get the reaction it's gonna get like today.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Have you ever had a moment that happened to you, like where you play a song or something like that, like whether it was like an early experience, or just something where like you think you about to spin something where the crowd's gonna move, but it doesn't move the way you want to. You have to like adjust on the fly.
Oh, that happens all the time. And that's okay, because as a DJ, that's what you're supposed to do. Like one song doesn't determine your set. So like if you have actually 3 songs don't determine your set. But like it's the consistency your consistency that determines the set. So like if you consistently are playing bad songs, then you're having a bad set. If you consistently are playing good songs, you're having a good set. And some sets are stronger than others. Yeah. You feel me? But yeah, you always gotta adjust on the fly. Always. Always. That's the art of it. That's the art. I mean, that's if you're really reading the room. And there's so much pockets under each genre. Like if you're really knowledgeable, that like it's part of the sport. Like this is just like a part of it. Like, you know, like if it's like if you playing defense, you playing basketball on somebody and you realize, you know, they're left-handed, so you got to guard them a little different. Like it's right. It's still part of your game. Like it's not gonna. I mean, that shouldn't move you. Yeah, it shouldn't move you.
You said it's like a sport. Is there like a kind of a competitiveness in the DJ world as opposed to like, you know, like artistry?
Unspoken for sure.
Okay,
unspoken for sure. Like, because at the end of the day, like, I don't feel like I'm competing with my DJ friends.
Right.
But at the same time, like, I understand that to the world, you kind of are competing with your DJ friends to the world, like not internally. So like if somebody has something good going on, I'm genuinely always happy. Like especially if they're my friends, like my friend DJs, because I feel like I know how much work they put in. So it's like I feel like it's well deserved. Like you earned that, bro. You feel me? Like, but at the same time, if somebody's earning something, it's good. Well, at least with me, it motivates me. You feel me? Because it's like, yo, if my man just did this, and that, I know that when I think that I want to do this, and that, I know that that's possible.
Right.
So I'm saying, so everybody's goals are different. But as long as you're accomplishing something, I think the competitiveness is what can you accomplish? Like, what can you do? Like, because the DJ world is very, very fickle. If you go quiet for too long, it's hard to pick up your steam. You feel me? And even with me, I kind of feel like people said I had a crazy top of the year the first 3 months. And I did. Like, I went through my little dump. I'm like, yo, it was good. But, like, in real life, I'm like, yeah, bro, you need to pick it up.
Right.
You feel me? And I have a lot of people around me, and this is just a blessing, that work hard and motivate me without even knowing that they're motivating me. You see what I'm saying? So I think having people around you that you just interact with on the daily, or not even on the daily, or just frequently enough, they need to be people that like got something going on to help you. Cause like this is another thing. When people got stuff going on, they make time to talk to you, but like they also don't have time to talk to you, if that makes sense. That the friendship is like, all right, we might get on FaceTime for 30 minutes, but like, and we might text and send each other stuff, but like, do I have time to talk to you 30 minutes every other day?
Right.
No, nigga.
Right. Right.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And like, I feel the same way. Like, you see what I'm saying? So, and 9 times out of 10, if I'm talking to you every day, a majority of our conversation is probably business related, or some type of knowledge as far as like, because I'm not about to make it seem like we sending each other like business, inspirational quotes and shit. I'm just more so saying like you're informed of something with the scene. Oh, this song is, oh yo, I just seen somebody play this and it was going crazy. Like that's not conversation. Like that's conversation that's informative, even though it's very casual. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, I definitely think that, you know, having people around, and that I think that's the motivation. But I think I don't compete with people directly. I compete with myself and my potential, and also like I understand that the eyes of the masses, we're all competing, because you always want to take up more brain space in somebody's mind than another DJ, because that's just better for your brand. If somebody thinks of you first, it's just better for you. You see what I'm saying? And to the masses, when somebody, like, let's say you work for a corporate company, they got DJs, you want to be the first one of the first 2 people to come to mind. You don't want to be the 5th person, like, oh yeah, we could get him. And that's the competitiveness. Like but that's not directly competing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's just more so like just the nature of the world. It's dog eat dog. That's how you win, because you got to make sure people remember you.
So you said like, as you're like, the DJ world's fickle. Like when you achieve stuff, you still just want more. So like, I guess for Vic B, what is like, and not the end goal, but like, what is that moment where you be like, all right, I feel like I achieved something, I'm where I want to be at?
That's a good question, because I don't even know if I can answer that. I don't think there ever will be an end, and I think I'm just more excited to see where life takes me. Let me just say it like that, because I don't necessarily see an end. Like, I don't think Jay-Z saw an end. Like, you feel me? Like, he's accomplished, and that's just using him as an example. Like, I think it's kind of like open-ended. Like, I just want to, there are things I want in the long term, but I feel like everything for the most point is like short term. When I say short term, I don't really mean like 3 months. I mean like next year, where am I going to be? The year after that, and the thing is that like, as you set small goals, I feel like it makes the journey a little bit more fun, only because like you're kind of just going with what you feel in the moment, what you can do, and if you could keep pushing yourself. And again, I don't even feel like I've accomplished that much, if I'm being honest with you. I do think that I have a good resume, and I do think I've accomplished things. Let me not like downplay myself. I'm just more so saying that like what I have accomplished compared to what I want to accomplish, or what I've thought about accomplishing, you see what I'm saying? Like, they don't really compare. But when I said I don't see an end goal, like, again, I do have goals. I just don't think they're the end,
Right.
if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
So yeah, man, like, done a couple cool things, man. I feel like I've done a lot of cool things in life. On the Radar was cool.
How was that experience?
It was cool. It was the first time, I'm gonna be honest, a little vulnerable. It was the first time I was nervous for something in a while, because like I had to shoot it in the middle of the week, and I went up to New York by myself. And then my cousin pulled up on me though, and my man Wale, that works for RCA. Shout out to him. He pulled up, and yeah, it was cool. I like the team over there. They're very very hardworking. Um, I just ran into them at an event on Thursday in New York too. Shout out to the whole On the Radar team, Gabe and John and all them. But yeah, man, it was cool. It was cool. I just I was happy with my set. A lot of people keep playing it and you know sending it to me. Shout out to everybody that bumped it. It was an Afrobeat set. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy. I think I think I think that that opened up my mind to wanting to do other platforms on that level.
Right.
That was like my first major platform. Um, I think that the reason why I'm talking like that is more so because like remember what I told you earlier, like what's the next one? Like that kind of like motivated me to like, all right, let's see how much more you can do on that level. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So shout out to them for giving me the opportunity. I had fun, great experience. Definitely recommend. Yeah.
So I know you had the Q1. You had a crazy Q1. So what can we expect for you for the rest of the year, moving forward? Maybe even 5 years from now. Like what can we see like Vic B doing? Is it going to be just more shows, just for fun, growing as a company? Like what's your vision?
Definitely just for fun, growing as a company. I would bet your last dollar on that. Then other, I want to do a lot more creative things. I definitely want to get into the creative space a little bit more. I've been doing a little bit more content. As far as like what to expect from me on the DJ tip, me and my business partner, we're gonna run the summer in Philly. We got Sips coming up. We got a whole bunch of things that we want to do. A lot of plans, a lot of events. Roots Picnic is gonna be a big one. Yeah, just more events, bigger stages. I'm definitely do a tour at some point with somebody. Definitely gonna do a festival stage. Um,
Like a DJ tour?
no, I'm saying like with the artist.
Okay,
Like
okay.
I'm definitely gonna. I want that. I just want that to be a part of my resume. Um, there's a lot of artists I'm cool with, so hopefully something falls in line. Definitely partnerships. I definitely want to get more partnerships on a lot of our events. Start like just the brand is already cleaned up, but more so just getting these corporations to see that and stand behind us. Uh, yeah, man, just more work. That's all. Right now. The whole thing is just to amplify. You feel
Right.
me? Visibility. You see what I'm saying? That's the name of the game. Visibility. I want everybody to know about what we got going on. You see what I'm saying? Whatever we got going on, I want people to know about it, and I want that to resonate. Obviously, I'm definitely scaling. I definitely different markets, and that's with everything. With Just for Fun, with my actual DJ brand, with me and my business partner, whatever pocket of business I'm talking about, that's what I want to do. And eventually, honestly, one thing that I want to push myself to do is actually get into production. Um, that's something that I really want to do. I've been dragging my feet with it. I just understand the reason I'm dragging my feet, and it's not an excuse, but it's the truth. The reason I'm dragging my feet is because I understand how much time. That's not something that you just jump into and get good at. That's something that you will really invest your time in, at least if you want to be successful. And that's how I approach DJing. I want to approach it with the same tenacity. I really want to lock in and make sure that I'm learning the right way, not getting into bad habits, learning why things are what and why people decide to do whatever they do when they're producing. So yeah, those are some of the things to expect from me, man. Yeah, man, I'm just trying to dominate.
Was producing something you always wanted to do, or is it just like you said, you've been dragging feet, or
Um,
is it like or something like
no,
click or
so
what?
I don't want to say it's something I always wanted to do, but I've always had interest in it, and as that's just me being a DJ. Like I pay attention to beat breakdowns. I pay attention. I'm the guy that gets hyped because of a like like a chord or like there's a melody that's in the background of a song, I'm like, yo, like they brought in this melody, and like that's my favorite part of the song. Like, so it's like I kind of have the interest in it, and I also understand that production can help me with artist relationships, because with me personally, like I'm cool with a lot of artists, but I do think that that's something I need to work on, as far as, just building and networking in that realm. Um, Obviously, I'm cool with artists because they want me to play their songs, but like when you can produce too, it adds to your it adds to your whole box of like what you can do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your stash. So it's like, yo, like I could do this because I can host too. Like sometimes, people ask me to host their events because I know how to actually host a DJ. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so it's like it's just part of your toolbox. You feel me? And I can produce. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing I want to add to my artillery. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the artist relations part. Do you ever get songs that people try to play you, like you don't want to play them, and they maybe try to pay maybe like how does that go easier? Because you know how it goes.
Typically, it varies. I'm gonna be honest, because there's some moments I feel like it varies on the room and where I'm spinning at. Because like if you catch me in a lounge and you're like, yo, bro, I'll give you this to play a song. I'm like, all right, bet, that's cool. We chilling. If I'm on big stages, number one, you can't even walk up to me on big. Like you probably already have to know me and ask requests prior to, and with that, like I have to like the song. Or actually, yeah, I have to like the song. If we have a very, 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 very close relationship, like, and I'll just support. But typically, if that's the case, I'll play a song from you. I'm not gonna play a song. I'm gonna play my favorite one from you. You feel me? And like if it's new, obviously, if it's new and I like it, then obviously I'll play it. But like, if there's something I'm not really a big fan of, and you ask me, I'll probably suggest, if especially like I said, if we're close, I'll be like, yo, let me play this one instead.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But like, I definitely always try to support. It's always based on what you're at the ask though. You see what I'm saying? It's always based on the ask, but like I definitely try to support. And if I like your song and you send me a song and like I feel like it fits with certain like rooms, I'll play it. I'll play it. Like I'll put it in my crates and I'll play it. Like I definitely try to support new music when I can. I think there's a time and place, but I'd also do think there's also ways that you could be creative and fit things in. So I feel like it always varies on who's asking me and what the ask is. But is it something I'm opposed to? Definitely not. Definitely not. I definitely try to support. I do understand how hard of a grind coming up as a musician, as an artist is. So it's like anything that I could do to help that makes sense though, because it also has to make sense for me. You're asking me a favor.
Right.
I'll definitely do for sure.
What are some of like your favorite music scenes right now, or artists that you're listening to in your rotation?
Right now, I listen to a lot of different things, bro. Let me show you. Hold on. Cause like right now, like in the car on my way here, I was listening to Joe Boy, who's an African artist. He dropped a tape, and I like the tape. But then like the last song I downloaded was G Herbo. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like
variety.
Yeah, like right now, I got Rema's new single in here, G Herbo. Shout out to the Young Bulls from Philly, Sturdy Youngin and them. I'm listening to their song too. They just dropped some new joint, respectfully. Ruger. Oh yeah, Ruger. He's an African artist. I just did a content shoot with him. Was that last week? Shout out to Sample and Sounds, my Young Bull, Sai, Sam, all them over there, the whole team. It's a whole bunch of them over there. Yeah, man, like that Ruger was cool. That was a cool experience. 'Cause it was random and like I was just trying to support my guys over there. Yeah. So I'm bumping Ruger, Lil Yachty and V's. I like that new song. I like Dirk's new tape too. People slept on Dirk's new tape. I like Dirk's new tape. I'm listening to another African artist, famous Pluto, Shali Puppy. I'm listening to. Oh, Get Jiggy. I got that joint in here. And then I got some Haitian music for Campe too. I love that song. I got a couple of Cardi songs on here. Yeah. Friday, shout out to DJ A Boogie. I'm bumping his joint still. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I listen to everything. Like, I literally listen to everything. Like, if you look at my Shazam, it's like literally everything. Like, I try to stay well rounded. So that's what I'm listening to right now, man. Lights too. Shout out to my man Gio. Lights, definitely listen to him. Yeah.
That's solid, man. Well, tell everybody where we can find you at. We appreciate you pulling up too today.
Yo, listen, man, it's Vic B. I'm checked in. You can find me on Instagram at VICB, on Twitter at VICB Energy, man. I'm here. I'm around. Shout out to Sold Out Dates, One Motion, Club King DJs, Shadyville DJs, man, everybody. Just for fun, we checked in. Yeah, man, I'm around. Oh, yeah, fourth quarter, too. Shout out to fourth quarter, my brothers Dior and Melv. We around, man. That's the brand. That's our company name in Philly now.
Yeah.
You feel me? Yeah, fourth quarter. So every time we have all of the Vic and Dior events, you feel me, and the private events that we do with my man Melv, like we all under that umbrella. Fourth quarter, we here, the biggest. You feel me? We around.
So we got for this episode of the Face of the Future podcast. It's your boy Myles. I'm out. Oh my God, is that the Faces of the Future?